All right, buckle up. Today's guest is a certified game changer. Yes, Adam Gillespie is no ordinary realtor. He's a former touring musician who discovered real estate and the power of AI and turned it into a whole new career. He's showing agents how to clone themselves and run their businesses on autopilot. Yes, you're going to hear how he went from guitars to chat GPT and why he won the 2024 Inman AI Award. Let's go. All right. Adam Gillespie is a Denver based broker associate and AI and CRM strategist who's taken an unconventional path. He's a former musician turned tech forward realtor. With over 7 years in real estate, Adam has redefined the role of agents by building an AI powered system that literally clones his voice and business style. He's the founder of Agent Prompt University and Apex Elite AI, a 2024 Inman AI Award winner and the number one ranked Lofty coach on Google and YouTube. Adam has helped agents streamline their lead generation, content creation, and follow up using tools like ChatGPT, Notebook LM, Gamma app, and custom GPT so they can close more deals while reclaiming their lives. Adam, thank you so much. You are amazing.
What's up, Shonnie? Super excited to be on your show. This is awesome, man. I couldn't be more happy to be here with you today.
Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be so good. I really want to I want to get right into it. I want you to share with us your journey into real estate. You know, everyone has a story, but I really want you to share yours because it was really unconventional. So how did you get into real estate? And then what sparked your interest in AI?
Yeah, so I got into real estate, honestly, in a moment of fear and panic. So I thought I was going to be a famous musician since I was a little kid. You know, my dad was a musician and he gave me my first set of drums when I was 6 years old. So I started playing the drums and I was that kid in school who was really good at the drums. So I was always doing these like pep rallies and I had my first band when I was in sixth and seventh grade and we were
Wow.
doing talent shows and all that cool stuff. And then it
Yeah.
really hit into high gear after high school,
Mhm.
right around 2004. I was supposed to graduate in 2002, but I once again thought I was going to be famous. So I dropped out of high school in the year 2000. And in 2004, we formed a band called No One Left Standing. And we actually were using automations and what we kind of consider as AI, where we
Okay.
would we built a bot that would basically auto post our band's music onto people's MySpace pages. So we would target famous
Mm.
people on MySpace. For
Mhm.
those of you that don't know what MySpace is,
I
I'll
know,
just
like that's
date
aging us
myself.
for real. Because I had a my yes, I had a page.
MySpace was, yeah, and MySpace was way cooler than Facebook because we
I loved
had our
it.
own music pages. And people don't even realize this. Like they had kids coding back in the day on MySpace because we would go into these little apps and then we would get this HTML code and then you have to put it in the back end of your MySpace page and then that would change the way that it looked. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing that we
Yep.
realized was that there was a comment section and we could post videos and we could post like our music players in there. So we built a bot that would automatically post our band's music player on autoplay in famous people's comment section. So as these famous
Mm.
people are getting thousands of hits a day on their MySpace page, my music would start playing and then that would rack up our play counter on our MySpace page and it made my band look way bigger than we really were. So we ended up winning a bunch of competitions and getting all these show opportunities. And I went on tour from like 2004 to like 2014 and came back in 2014 and realized like, okay, there's no money in this. Like we didn't have any business savvy. I had six other guys in the group and it was just really hard to get everybody to come together to turn this into a
Yeah.
real business.
Mm-hmm.
So I quit the band and I had a son at that time too. He was 7 years old. And I came off our last tour and I was like, one of these days I'm going to come back and my family's probably not going to be there anymore because the guy who's supposed to be supporting them is out playing around. It'd be one thing if I was making a boatload of money doing it and I could
Right.
support them, but most importantly, I was missing out on my kid's life.
Mm.
He was growing up right underneath my nose without me looking.
Yeah.
So I quit that, and then I was in this state of fear and panic. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a 10th grade dropout. I have no GED, no college education, nothing." So I realized real quickly that I had to become an entrepreneur of some
Okay.
sort, right? So
Mm-hmm.
my brother-in-law and we started a general contracting business. I did have some contracting experience and he was a licensed GC in New York and moved
Okay.
out to Colorado. So we started a business It grew way too quick. Within about a year, we had 20 employees. We were doing a bunch of big projects, and we kind of got burned out on a couple of the HOAs that we were working with. So I quit that. And I just decided this is around 2017. I went into real estate, and
Okay.
I chose real estate because I felt like I was going to finally be in control of my own destiny, and that if I never succeeded at it, that I couldn't point the finger at anybody else. Like with the band, I could say, "Oh, well, Nick had a job, so we couldn't take this tour opportunity because he couldn't get the time
Right.
off of work." And there was always an excuse. So I wanted to remove the excuses, and I wanted myself to just be, "Hey, look, dude, you're the captain of your own ship. If this ship sinks, it's on you." And I
Hmm.
chose real estate for that. And
Yeah.
that's basically how I got into the industry. I just thrust into it. I was the first entrepreneur out of my entire family. So I had a lot of doubters, a lot of naysayers,
Hmm.
people telling me not to do it.
Of course.
But, when
That
people tell
happens.
me no, I'm like, that gives me even more inspiration to do
Right.
it.
They're just fully your enthusiasm. For me, I feel like agents become when you have to make it happen, that's when you're going to reach that level of whatever their measure of success is. You're going to
Yeah.
reach that because you have to. And
Yep.
so you were in a situation where like this has to work. I have, a wife, I have a child, like I got to make this happen. I cannot fail. And so
Yeah.
when you got that mindset, you're just going for it. You're not going to
That was
give up.
it.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Back against the wall. I perform my
Back
best
against the
under
wall.
pressure. And that's pretty much what it was from day one and still is to this day. Every day I got to wake up and do the job no matter how bad I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like it, but you know how people are. So, there's
Yeah.
10 other things we'd rather do every day than
Hmm.
sit around and do administrative work for an AI company and for our real estate business. Like, I'd rather be on the beach, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
am I going to get to the beach if I don't succeed here? So that's pretty much my motivation at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, here's what I heard someone say, and I forget her name, but she was talking about how like it's in threes. So like anything in life, a portion of it you're going to be like, I absolutely love it. And then a portion of it you're going to be like, this gets on my nerves. And the other part you're going to be like, well, I'm just going to, stick with it and just do some of it and just, you're not as excited about it. So it's like
Yeah.
that's what real estate, because sometimes I am pumped. And then sometimes I'm like, I need a vacation. Like I can't do any
For
more of
real.
this right now. I am so burnt out. So, that I think that's kind of like the nature of being an entrepreneur and being in this industry. Like it won't always be great, but at the end of the day, you love it and it provides for your family and gives you a way to kind of have a flexible lifestyle and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and on those days that I feel like I don't want to do it, I just think about what life was like before this. So,
Oh,
before the band and stuff, and we'll talk about the similarities between being a professional musician and being in real estate because there's a lot of them. But I used to have a regular W-2 job. Actually, when I came off of tour, the first 2 years, so from late 2013 to I always say I quit in 2014, but it was late 2013 to mid 2015. I actually had to have a regular job. And
mm,
it was a very low paying job. I was a service writer at Transwest Freightliner. So I basically took all of these trucks in and I would sign them up for service and give them off to the mechanics. And
okay.
it was a miserable job, dude. I hated every second of
Oh,
it because I
yeah.
was restricted. I couldn't be me. So when I
Mm-hmm.
come downstairs to do my job for the day and I'm really feeling like I don't want to do it, I just put myself mentally back in that
That's right.
space. And I'm like, oh my God, I love what I do. So it
Okay.
gets me right motivated, ready to go again. Yeah.
But you hit the nail on the head. Like it's right here.
Yeah.
You got to get this right here. It's that gratitude. You got to have gratitude, be
Yep.
grateful for what you have and things like that. I'm the same way. Like if I ever want to be like, oh man, and kind of like have a pity party, I have to think about like, first of all, you prayed for this. You asked for this. You are in it now.
Yeah, dude.
You wanted it 2 years ago, so now you have it and you don't want it. No, no, Shonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And what else would we really do? I mean, think about
Right.
it, you know?
Exactly.
There's nothing else I'd rather do. I love helping people find their places where they're going to create their memories. So for
Mm,
me, it's more than just selling houses. It's where families decide to raise their children. It's where, people decide to spend big portions of the chapters of their lives, and we can
yes.
help them do that. So that's a big inspiration for me because I really get off on trying to help people. And this is why when I fell into the coaching space, I was like, oh my gosh, this is more fulfilling than music ever was. Because of the
Wow.
fact that I can help people get their time back by, streamlining AI into their business to where they can
Mm.
have their tasks completed in a fraction of the time it would take them to do it manually.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Tell me this, like you just mentioned before, the music industry, the real estate industry, what are those transferable skill sets that you learn in music that you're using now in real estate?
Yeah, so this was a huge surprise to me because I didn't know what to expect in real estate. I
Yeah.
thought self-employed, I'm the master of my own domain.
Yeah.
Like pretty much that was the main reason to get in there was just because I wanted to be able to make sure I can succeed at something with my own willpower.
Hmm.
But when I got into it, I realized, oh man, this is really, really similar because in the band when I was full-time music. I didn't have a job at this time. I was just working on the music. So when we weren't out playing shows, AKA showing houses and closing deals, what were
Mm.
we doing? We were marketing ourselves. We were trying to
Hmm.
become known online. We were trying to become known in our local community. And how do you do
Yeah.
that? Well, you learn marketing and advertising and getting out there and mayor campaigning yourself and passing out flyers and doing all of this stuff. Like the only real different thing was I didn't door knock with my band, right? But I
Hmm.
did door knock clubs and venues and all of these other things. So when I started to get into real estate, I was like, holy crap, this is very similar. You mostly work from home, right? When we're showing houses, that was like to me, that reminded me of playing shows. You'd go
Hmm.
out, you'd be in front of the public for a minute, usually just one person when you're showing a house or a family, right? But you
Right.
still had to perform. You still had to show up. You still had to be enthusiastic. You had to be excited. I couldn't
Yes.
tell you how many times we were on the road playing our fifth show in a row and getting very little to no sleep from the night before. So a lot of people don't realize like there's nothing glamorous about touring. Okay, we were in a
Wow.
95 Chevy G20 conversion van with six band members and a
Oh
manager.
my God.
So this thing was packed, and we're just driving down the road, and you'd get to your city, right? So and we were irresponsible young children at the time, so we would party our asses off right before we'd leave for tour. The night before tour was like a huge party, so we'd get into the van, hungover and tired, drive to our first city. Get to the first city and immediately have to go do radio interviews, publication interviews, and all of this other stuff. And then you get a
Wow.
very little couple of hours to try to take a nap. And then you got to show up to the venue and do sound check before the venue opens. So then you're doing sound check. And then you have a little small amount of time while the venue opens up and a couple of the opening bands come on. And then you go in on the headliner act. We play a show that was usually 60 to 90 minutes long. And then you'd get off a stage and you would party. And then you would rinse and
Wow.
repeat that cycle. So we would get fraction like fragmented sleep cycles where it's only a couple hours at a time. And you're a week or two into this and you're like done, like absolutely done and exhausted. So we'd come back very irritated with each other and we would like take 2 weeks off every time and be like, okay, I don't want to see you guys for at
But
least
that
two
seems
weeks.
like it would be exhausting, like it would run its course. It's almost like your coming into real estate, it was bound to happen
Yeah.
because you were good at that. You enjoyed it. It brought you joy and things like that and income, but it had run its course. Like it's almost like you keep transforming into something like, and then you
Yeah.
transform into, now you're a real estate agent, so you're a real estate practitioner. And then you're like, I can make this business, this career choice much easier by
Yes.
incorporating AI. And so it's like I love that about you. Like you don't stay somewhere. Like you continue to just evolve, evolve. That's so impressive.
Thanks. Yeah, you have to, right? I can't remember who said this. I'm not going to take the credit for it, but it stuck with me. It's like, I am deathly afraid of being the same person. Actually, it was Ed Milet. That's who it is.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I'm deathly afraid of being the same person I am now next year. Right.
Mm,
And even Albert Einstein said that a mind that never stops learning never grows old. So
mm.
I've just kind of, and real estate, I think, was one of the big things. And people, they're always like, why are real estate agents and so much into self-help and mindset? And it's like, well, I'll tell you why. If
We
you're
must
not,
be.
if you're not, you'll lose your mind. There's
Yeah.
so much, and I think it's not even just real estate, it's entrepreneurism in general. This is a business that will drag you through the dirt. And if you don't have the right mindset and you don't have the right
You're in
help,
trouble.
like you're in trouble. You're in deep
Yeah.
trouble, dude.
Yeah.
So
You're in
I
a
was
lot of
really
trouble.
excited when I got into real estate and I started realizing Oh my gosh, I already know how to run Facebook ads. Oh my gosh, I already know how to create marketing material. Like I
Man,
started to
that's so
see these
good.
similarities. It's like, okay, so maybe I'm not creating a band flyer, but now I'm creating an open house flyer,
That's it.
right? So I was able to take a lot of the skill set that I learned, and this is where I think
Mhm.
God comes into it. It's
Mm.
like he was just taking me down a path to prepare me for what I really was meant to do.
Wow,
But like,
Adam.
it's
Yeah.
wild because I didn't realize why I was learning these skill sets until I landed here.
Hmm.
And the thing about real estate is that now I'm here for my family. Like they're upstairs right now. Daughter's upstairs watching some Walking
I
Dead,
love it.
son's in his room studying for real estate school, mom's in the kitchen cooking
Yes.
dinner. So I'm here, I'm present, I'm not missing out on my child's lives anymore, but I still have that same feeling of being in the band where, I instead of, going out and having to play these shows now, full disclosure, I'm not getting drunk all the time anymore. I had to leave that part of my life behind
Yeah, yeah.
in order to be successful in this. So
Right.
it's much more of a cleaner career, in my opinion.
Mm.
And I absolutely love it. And then came the part that I think most realtors that are watching this are going to admit it becomes a time suck, right? We think at first, oh, I'm going to have all this time. And then you're the CEO, the CFO, you're the customer service rep, you're the showing agent, you're the closing agent, you're all of these roles. And
Yes.
November of 2022 rolled around, and this little thing called Chat GPT became publicly
Oh
available.
yeah, I remember that.
And yeah, I was like, I locked in on it. And it's funny. I got to give my sister credit for this because she's also in real estate, but she called me and she's like, hey, did you hear this new thing called Chat GPT? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, it's a new AI. And that got me thinking right there because I always liked artificial intelligence. So I went
Yeah.
on to Chat GPT and I was like, oh, this is dope. This is like a new Google. Instead of
Yeah.
me having to go through all these different websites, I can just have it, summarized for
Right
me in
here.
plain and white
Exactly.
language.
Exactly.
And so I started using it for that. And then, and that's what I recommend. If you guys haven't used AI yet, just start using it as a Google, start putting your queries into that, and you'll see that it's simple. It's much more efficient than browsing on Google. So I
Yes.
started to do that, and then I realized like maybe I should educate myself on this because it seems like I'm just scratching the surface here. So I actually did go online and I found there was very little at this time of AI training. Now it's starting to kind of become more of a thing. So I ended
Yeah.
up on IBM and I basically went to IBM and I learned all of my AI fundamentals. And I learned about tokenization, context windows, machine learning, convolutional neural networks. We don't have to go down that road of science, but I learned how the large language models work. And
Okay.
then once I had that knowledge, the world was my oyster. I was
Hmm.
like, oh, so I could clone myself into this thing and make it talk like me. I could teach it everything about my business so it can help be my idea creator. And then it was like, what else can I do with this in real estate? Oh man, it can devour
Hmm.
large documents in a matter of seconds. So gone are the days where I read HOA manuals, right? Like when your client calls, I do a whole bunch of different things. I'll bring it into Notebook LM, put that source in there. I'll create audio overviews for them. So I'll send them these little podcasts that explains their HOA. I just did one for a client that wants to buy their first investment property. They want to do short-term rentals in Northern Colorado.
Wow, that's
So I basically
incredible.
did deep research through Gemini on pulling all the rules and regulation of short-term rentals, and then I brought that into Notebook LM and did an audio overview and sent it to them. And they called me back the next day. They're like, "This was amazing." And it was great because I didn't have to be the naysayer in the situation, right? Most
Right.
they literally thought that they could just buy a house and then put it on Airbnb. They didn't realize the permit process, the application process, all of the restrictions that are involved. A lot of areas in northern Colorado have banned short-term rentals. So I could have been an ignorant agent and just been like, "Oh yeah, whatever, let's go ahead and do
Let's
this."
just do
And then they
this and
buy a
stuff.
house just to find out that they can't do it with short-term rentals, and then they come back to me and like, "Adam, why didn't you know this?"
And they're stuck
So
with this house and can't use it the way that they want it to.
exactly. And the worst thing you could ever do is buy a house and turn around and sell it again. You're going to lose money every single time.
that won't, that won't
So
work.
yeah, so I realized that AI can help me do massive amounts of research in a very short amount of time. And the more that I started implementing this into my business, the more I realized like the direct result is compounded time savings. So these tasks that would take me hours to do, I'm a CRM geek, so I used to literally write out all of my like my long-term drip campaigns that are multiple
Hmm.
years long, sending multiple emails a month, and I would type out every email. And remember, guys, I didn't graduate high school. So literally, I'm like two finger typing these emails out, and it would take me weeks to develop this.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Now
just
I
so
do it in an
time
hour.
expensive.
Yeah. So now I can do it in an hour. And then I can respond to an email in 5 seconds versus 5 minutes. And the more that I implemented this, the more I started realizing, like, oh my God, I got free time. Like, what is this? I don't know what to do with this stuff. So I was like, great, spend more time with the family. And for
Yeah.
those of you that aren't like in family mode yet, guess what? You can be a better client or a better representative to your client. We can
Yeah.
give them more time, more of our
Hmm.
energy. You can go out and
Hmm.
find more deals. You can close more deals. So I realized the importance of AI and that and I'm not saying this like egotistical or anything like this, but I knew more than most people did in this industry. There are developers out there that make me look like I don't know anything, but when it came to the real estate industry, I was very proficient in this. So, Mike and Louie
I
and
love it.
Jeremy kind of was like, Adam, you need to bring this
Uh-huh.
to market, man. So that's how I ended up becoming a coach. So now I do that with the majority of my time.
Mhm.
But I did use AI to automate my real estate business. So I've still, my CRM on full automation without me making calls is a six-figure a year business right there. And then I can spend
But
my
see,
time teaching
for
agents.
you, for the AI, that right there, real estate was the game changer, but then AI just came and really set you apart
Yeah.
and really helped you to be able to be a better practitioner. Because again, there is a lot of, for the agents watching, there is, yes, real estate can be, it can be simple once you know what you're doing. But in the beginning, it's just a lot of like trying to figure out how are you going to do this? What's first, what's second, what's third? But when you have AI in place and you're able to use that, you really can save time on putting things together. And then you're not going to procrastinate anymore
Right.
because you don't have to. You don't have to say, man, I don't know this yet. Let me read this whole entire book or something like that. Like you said, you can just use resources, place those in your AI, place that into Chat GPT or whatever, and be able to give you what you need to be able to make it simple for someone to digest and to consume.
Yeah, it's literally like having a partner that is very fast and very efficient. I tell most people that you need to imagine Chat GPT or whatever AI you're using, Gemini, Claude, whatever. This is like having the world's number one consultant on any subject that you have and
Hmm.
right there at your disposal. So, when it comes to planning my business or planning my next project or doing SWOT analysis on my business or even SEO audits on my website, I don't know that stuff, right? And I don't have the time to learn it, but the AI knows it. And I can just feed it my website. Like I use Manus to do these SEO audits on my websites, and it tells me
Hmm.
everything that's wrong and exactly how to fix it. And then you get this list at the end, and you're like, okay, this is what I need to fix. And then you're staring at that list, and you're like, well, I don't understand this. Well, guess what? The AI does. So now you're like, okay,
Yeah.
here's my plan that you made for me. How do I implement it? Give me a step-by-step process. And it's like, okay, Adam, on
Mhm.
Monday, you're going to do this. On Tuesday,
Yeah.
you're going to do this. And then you just follow that. And next thing you know, it's done. And it's done way quicker than it would have taken you to go out and learn all of that. And it's done way cheaper than it would have taken you to hire somebody to do it for you.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is big, especially for new agents that don't have a giant budget, because the
Right.
consultation that I receive, even in a given week from AI, would cost thousands and thousands of dollars to come from a human that's become an expert in that given subject.
Yeah.
So this is why I say compounded time savings, because now I don't have to pay for the coach. I don't have to pay for the knowledge. I don't have to
Hmm.
pay for the time for them to do this. It gets done at an astronomically fast speed from the AI itself.
Oh my gosh. So tell me about this. You were the winner for the 2024 Inman AI Award. So
Yes.
what was that for? What did you do to receive that? And tell me how that really tell me how that really validated your journey into
You
AI.
know, that was probably one of the biggest surprises to happen to me in my adult life because I have no idea
Oh,
what I did. I just
yeah.
got the email from Inman and they were like, "Hey, you won." And I was like, "I didn't even know I
Wow.
was nominated." Like I'm not even a subscriber to Inman. Like that I was one of
Wow.
those cheap agents that I'm like, $50 a month, I'm good. You know? So I get this email and they're like, you won the AI award for
You're like me?
best use of AI. I'm like, me? What did I do? But what I realized is it was because I was one of the few that was using it for practical applications inside our business. I'm
Okay.
using it to go over inspection reports. I'm using it to scrape personality profile statistics. I'm using it to negotiate. And when I say I use it to negotiate, I'm not having the AI negotiate for me, but I'm going through coaching sessions with the AI based on the personality statistic of the agent I'm working with and learning how to speak to them. Right. So what we do is we break it down on the disc profile. Most agents are online, so we can use an app like Crystal Knows, which will basically go out and scrape all their LinkedIn data and say, hey, based on the way that they post and how their profile is set up, this person is a high C or a high I or a high D, right? And then I know what kind of personality I'm working with. So then I train a chat GPT to be a PhD level psychologist and help me understand how this person communicates. And then I give it my scenario, aka I'm going into a negotiation on inspection objection. This is what they found. What's the best way to approach this? And it's like, okay, Adam, with this type of personality, you don't want to talk fast. So slow your speaking down. They're
Oh,
going to
very
want more
good.
data. So if this is a high C, you're going to want to give them more stats and data instead of your opinions and feelings. So it would coach me into how to handle this. And then I would go through that very quickly. And then I would call the agent and I would negotiate in that fashion. And it immediately changed my negotiation game. And now most of the agents that I work with, I'm friends with afterwards. They're like, Adam, and it's my favorite part because they're like, Adam, this was such a pleasant deal to do. And I'm like, yeah, because I knew your personality. And they're like, well, how'd you know that? And I'm like, let's sit down for lunch and have a conversation. And when I tell them that I used AI to pick out their personality, they're blown away because I get it 99% of the time exactly right. And then I'm speaking to them the way that their subconscious wants to be spoken to. So it feels more collaborative, it feels more friendly. And it's not like we're battling our personalities together. I can mirror their personality without even having to spend 1 minute with them because I pulled all
Yeah.
the data online.
Yeah. And
So it works
that's
that way.
really good because, you know, real estate is about relationships,
It sure is.
and I may not want to be best friends with the co-op agent, but I want to have a good working relationship for these next 30 days
Yes.
and,
And
to make it
like,
as pleasant as possible.
we've all been in those deals, right? If you've been in real estate for even a year and you've done a couple of deals, you've been in the deals with those agents who feel like it's a competition. It's
Yes.
like I either win or I lose. And it's like, no, that doesn't have to be that way. But I don't have a psychology degree. I don't even have a full high school education, but my AI does. You know what I mean? So I can learn things at a very rapid rate. I call this HEL, high efficiency learning, and I think this is going to change the way that we are educated as humanity going forward because instead of sitting down and reading 1,000-page book on psychology, I can go through a 60-minute coaching session on a specific personality profile, and I can learn what I would learn in that 1,000-page book with sitting down with an AI that's an expert in that area in about 60 minutes. So
Wow.
going back to that compounded time savings thing there, the more that you implement this in the business, the more efficient you become at running your business and the more time you have to do what's important to you. Like for me, it's family. So I get to spend as much time
Yeah.
with my family as I want.
Which is really important.
Yeah.
You know, when I talk to some people about AI, I feel like they're nervous and scared about it.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's for some agents, it's still unfamiliar. Like not all
Mhm.
agents know that AI could be a great tool for them to use in their business.
Yeah.
Um, how do you frame your course and your conversations to agents to show them that it makes them become a more powerful agent? It doesn't replace them, but it makes them more powerful. It's a great tool. How do you get through that with them?
Yeah. The first thing I say is stop watching the news. Like the news has
Stop consuming
nothing.
that so much.
Yeah, I mean, it has no, there's no positive framing in any mainstream media about AI. They're trying to make us scared of it. Is there a reason to be concerned? Yeah, maybe. But for my perspective is that it's a tool. It's like money. It's like a gun. It's like any of these things. Like AI right now is not going to destroy the earth. As a matter of fact, there are so many medical breakthroughs and efficiency breakthroughs that we've seen. Like we're seeing, this is off the real estate subject, but they just said that a robotic arm with an A with a large language model running the arm was able to perform a root canal in a dentist's office in half the time it would take a dentist to do it at a 99% success rate. So it
Jeez
was less
Louise.
painful, the healing time was improved, and you see these things. It's like, okay, well, maybe we'll end up finding a cure to cancer. Maybe we'll end up, like it can help, but it can also be used bad as well. And
Yeah,
this is the
yeah,
same thing with money. We see people that have a lot of money that do it for absurdly good things. And then you see people use money for absurdly bad things. And
yeah.
I think that no matter what happens in this world, like AI is coming whether you like it or not. So you have two choices. You can be afraid of it or you can learn it. And that's what I decided to do. I was like, why live
Okay.
my life in fear when I can just learn this? If it is going to
Hmm.
take our jobs someday, which I do not think is happening anytime in real estate, because people get so scared about the possibilities. Like we just saw this guy released a YouTube video about 2027 and how we could be at artificial super intelligence at this point in time. And for those of you that don't know, we're not even in artificial general intelligence. So the definition of artificial general intelligence is when the AI can improve and learn and remake itself without needing human interaction. So if you guys think we're there yet, I challenge you to jump on ChatGPT and stare at it and see if it does anything. It's not going to do anything until you prompt it, right? So when we get to artificial general intelligence, this will be a
Hmm.
different area where the AI can improve and learn on itself and even re-release its new models without needing human interaction. The problem with that is that there's a lot of other factors involved, aka chipsets, so GPUs, which we're already
Hmm.
running out of GPUs, and then the biggest thing is the power to power these. We don't have the energy available at the moment to do this. We're already seeing like Sam Altman's talking about how we need to build these data centers, but there's no energy. Microsoft is petitioning the federal government to allow them to use the number 4 reactor inside of 4 Mile Island just for AI, and they're getting shot down on it. So,
Hmm.
because of the fact that we need that reactor power for other things, and in order to build a nuclear facility, which is really the only answer to running AGI, it's going to take 10 to 15 years just to build the plant itself. Not only that, but then you have to consider all of the government qualifications and
Uh-huh.
all of the general public. We have a say in whether they're building nuclear facilities. So there's a long, long road to go. And the reason that I say this is that don't be afraid that we're going to see Terminators running down the street next year. It's not going to happen. We don't have the energy to even produce AGI, let alone artificial super intelligence, which is beyond human comprehension on how smart that model would be.
Well,
Uh,
that's good to know because I
yeah.
don't think that, and see, now I see why you won that award with Inman because, yeah, I think that we are, of course, we're consuming what we see in the media and we're trying to put two and two together and make some sense of it. And in some cases, we're just way off base. And so we're thinking, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's going to, uh-oh, the robot going to come get me and things like
Yeah.
that. And we haven't even
Like,
gotten there yet because we don't even have the capacity to be able to do that in the first place.
right. And think about this. Teslas can barely drive themselves. Yes, there's self-driving mode on Teslas, but it's not to the point now. Like we're looking at like Elon Musk's Tesla Optimus bot, right? This bot is still in development. It's not coming out yet. So for them to say, oh, it's going to replace the real estate agent next year, it's like, no, it's not. Like, first and foremost, ask anybody. Like, the last time they did the poll, 70% of the general public had a negative view on AI. So do you think that these people are going to want a robot selling them a house? Probably not. And not only that, but
Right.
the robots, if you guys see online, you see the robots doing these little tricks and stuff. Well, they're not telling you that they're putting this in like 5x speed because the robots are still very slow. They're
Oh.
not doing it in real time human speed like we see. So to think that a Tesla Optimus bot could jump into a Tesla car and drive to a showing and create a relationship with the client and show that house and write that contract and negotiate that deal, it's absurd. This is not happening. Will it happen someday? Maybe. The godfather of AI says it's probably 2040 or 2060 before we even see AGI. So it's 2025 right now. That
Yeah.
means that you have a lot of time to learn this technology and use
Hmm.
it in an
Get familiarized
augmented
with it.
process. Yeah,
Yeah.
because right now it's a partner for me in my business. It's not here to replace me. It's here
Oh,
to do the
yeah.
stuff that takes me away from being a good agent to my clients. How
Hmm.
many of us are so busy doing the administrative work and trying to control the transactions that you miss that call from your client when they had a simple question?
Yep.
Right? I'm now
Hmm.
available to take those calls. I'm now available to take those meetings because my AI is doing my other job for me down there. And this is
Right.
why I say it's a partnership for AI integration inside of real estate, because there's
Partnership.
so much human level subjectivity inside of valuating properties, inside of creating relationships. And, I once again, like, raise your hand if you want to be called by a robot. Not me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how good it talks. I'm not really interested in working with something that doesn't have a soul. And people
Yes.
want
Thank
that
you
people
very
connection.
much.
So don't be afraid of AI taking your
Don't be
job if you're in
afraid,
real
y'all.
estate. Not yet. Yeah,
Not
exactly.
yet. Not yet. Let's talk about so you have your Agent Prompt University
Yeah.
and an Apex Elite AI.
Yes.
So you've built this community in order to um, encourage agents and show agents a new way of doing business. So
Yep.
tell me about your university and about Apex Elite AI.
Yeah. So Agent Prompt University is my flagship course. This is the course that I developed with, through the advice of Mike Sherrard and Louis Galt and Jeremy Kane. They saw my value, and they were
Yes.
like, Adam, you need to do this. Let us show you how. So I started out with building this course first, and this is my blueprint of everything that I've used AI for in my business that has worked for me. This is what I kind of attribute to winning the AI award there, is because
Okay.
that was my first release. But
Yeah.
then I started to realize that what good is a course without community behind it? So I
Mm.
created Apex Elite AI. And Apex Elite AI is my community that houses the course, but we also have our mastermind calls. So every week we do 2 mastermind calls. On Tuesday, we jam out about AI. So you don't have to sit there all week spending hours and hours trying to see what's going on with the AI. I do that for you, and I bring that to you in a nice silver wrap package every Tuesday. And we talk about what's good, what's
Yes.
not, and how we can use it. And then Thursdays, we go into the CRMs, because your customer relationship management software is the lifeblood of your company. I know there's still a lot of agents out there that aren't using this, but if you're not using a CRM, you are leaving money on the table. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
I realized my CRM was very important early on, and I've always spent a lot of my time in that CRM to make it work. It's not fun, it's boring work, but it makes you money. So when I realized that I could use AI to automate the majority of that, I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I can have the best of both worlds, right? Where the AI can do the boring stuff, and I can use automations and AI to create the language behind the automations. And then my CRM runs itself. And now I can coach agents. So that's how
Yep.
I formed Apex Elite AI. And I literally just show people how to do all of that. And then we bring it into a community. So it's courses, it's communities, it's prompts, it's drip
Yeah.
campaigns, and it's these mastermind calls. And this is what I'm trying to grow to become, like the number one resource for real estate agents wanting to learn this stuff.
Yes. Go ahead, Adam. This is incredible. I mean, just spending this time with you and just seeing how things have unfolded in your life. And it's just, there's a running thing with you. And it's kind of like, just keep going forward.
Yeah.
Like it was never going to be a walk in the park. It's going to always, present some challenges, but, keep going forward. And then, having your family to rally around and support you because they know that you are doing your thing downstairs in your, right there in your studio and you're getting things done. You have your
Yep.
son who's taking the courses too. Your wife understands, your daughter understands. So I love how you kept it moving forward, despite what naysayers have said to you and any of that. That's
Yeah.
really, really impressive. That's the mindset that agents have to have. If
Yeah.
you can just continue to go anyway, even though it's like, here we go again. But if you still choose to go and do it anyway, even if you don't feel like doing it today, you got to have that stick to itiveness to make it in this industry, I believe.
I 100% agree. And
Yeah.
maybe this is egotistical for me to say, but I love proving people wrong. So when the majority of my immediate family, my wife has always been supportive, my kids were always supportive, but I did,
Mhm.
my mom and my dad and a lot of the people in my family and even my friends, I lost friends over this.
Well,
Because
very good.
yeah, you changed, Adam. You're not the same
Thank
guy you
you.
used to be. And it's like, of course not.
And
I'm
I'm glad you see that.
evolving. And but the best part is that, from 2017 when I started real estate, well, actually they were saying that I couldn't be a business owner in 2015 when I finally went into business as an entrepreneur. Now it's 2025. Guys, we're 10 years down the road on that of me being an entrepreneur. And guess who isn't doubting me anymore? None of
Mm,
those people, because I proved it. And
that's
that
it.
is the sweetest feeling in the world when you're like,
Wow.
told you so.
That's it.
And
That's it.
now, I mean, some of my friends never came back, and that's okay. I honestly think that, there's times in life where they're no longer needed. I've got new friends
Yeah.
now, especially after
Yeah.
joining the wolf pack.
Okay.
All of all my best friends are in the wolf pack. Like, I'll
Yep.
tell you that right now. Like, this has been the most phenomenal thing that ever happened. And I know we didn't get enough time to jam out about it, but this was the game changer for me. I did struggle in real estate, but the wolf pack was the ones that taught me that you can be you. You don't have to change who you are to try to be
Mm-hmm.
successful. They
Yep.
recognized my value, and these people took me in as family, and
Yeah.
they showed me the way, and they helped me with my mindset, and they helped me implement this stuff. And
Uh-huh.
now, while I'm not friends with most of the people I was with in high school anymore, I have all this whole new family, and people are doing the
Yep.
same thing. We all have goals that are
Uh-huh.
very similar, and you can
Yeah.
feed off of each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is the family environment. And this is why the wolf pack is the perfect name for it, because we are a pack and we stick
Very true.
together. And everybody is always jelly of us when they go to EXP Con, and we've got 250 of us there, and we're taking these big old group photos, and we're throwing these big old parties,
We're
and we're having so
loud.
much fun. We're loud, and everyone's like, "Oh man, did I join the wrong downline?"
Maybe.
So I'm so thankful for that. And that's like, if you said to give credit to anybody about this, I would say that it was really the proximity of the people who actually believed in
Oh,
me inside the
oh,
wolf
of
pack.
course. Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, let's lean into that wolf pack because reality is we're with EXP Realty and we lean on one another and we
Yeah.
support one another. Even with this particular, this interview right here,
Yeah.
we support one another so that we can grow and we can then support other agents as well. And so EXP, the wolf pack, when I joined, I was very strategic. There are a lot of great people in the company, so that's hands down. But
Yeah.
I knew that I needed something in particular, and when I was able to plug in with Wolfpack, I realized that this is where I'm going to get what I need. I know what I needed. I knew what I needed, and I knew where I could get it once I realized what Wolfpack had to offer. And then when
100%.
you really get in there and you plug in for real and get on the calls and just immerse yourself in our group, you're going to be success. Like you're going to whatever you set your mind to, you're going to be successful with that. There's no way around
Yep.
it. I mean, because we're literally products of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I
Yeah.
tell people that are ever exploring a partnership with us over here in the Wolfpack, like, there is every ingredient for massive success inside this group. But the
Mm-hmm.
actual, the ultimate determination, or the ultimate factor in you becoming successful is you plugging in.
That's it.
Because you could sit here and you could just be on the calls and not implement anything, and you're going to still struggle.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you have so much support system behind you, and you're in proximity of people that actually care, like, that was the big game changer for me. And I could never
Yeah.
imagine myself being a part of any other organization. Like, I
Mm-mm.
am
I have
with
no
you for
interest.
life, dude.
I
Just
have no
like
interest in
Connor,
going anywhere.
yeah.
Well, here, so I want to let everyone know if you are not on track to hit your goals, I mean, you would like for both of us, to work with both of us, and you can. We can get you back on track and you can start closing your deals. And if you are brand new, you can begin to close your deals and, try to reach that mark of at least $100,000 per year. Like, let's go for that because that's
Right.
very doable. So if you want to discuss that with us, either one of us, Adam or myself, we'd be happy to work with you and assist you on your way to defining who you're going to be in this industry and who you're going to work alongside. We have a link below. You can click on Adam's link to chat with him. You can chat with me. Either way, we'll be here to support you on your journey through real estate. You're going to be in good hands. Adam, do you want to leave the viewers with anything?
Yeah, guys, hey, if you're thinking like AI, if you're scared about AI or you are interested in AI, hit up my YouTube channel. I'll make sure Shonnie puts the link in the description below. I have
Yep.
a bunch of free resources on there. So it's not like you just have to jump into a paid side of the community. You can start to learn and implement this stuff for free on YouTube. And I respond to every single comment, not my bot, but actually me. I respond to emails, texts, and all of that stuff. All my contact information's there. I want to see you succeed in this business because it is
Yes.
possible, and it's
Mhm.
possible to do it while still being a good parent, a good friend,
Yes.
and a amazing, amazing representative for your clients. So guys,
Mhm.
don't hesitate, jump in today, because if you don't, you're going to get left behind, and I don't want to see
We
that. So
don't want
make sure you
that.
hit that YouTube channel up and hit me up with any questions.
Yes. Thank you so much, Adam. Woo!
Thanks, Shonnie.
I appreciate you. You all go ahead and put the link below, and we are so happy to work with you and to reach out to you and to see you grow. Okay, y'all. Take
Awesome.
care.
See you guys later.